Welcome in, Slumpbusters. This is your boy Kyle, and we are back with another YouTube quick hitter. So, Bryce Young is the 2021 Heisman, a Heisman Trophy award that I said last week would probably go down as the weakest Heisman Trophy winner of the last 10 years.
Bryce Young sealing the deal for the Heisman. Is that narrative over with?
Yeah, I think that's probably done at this point, even though this is probably going to go down regardless as one of the weaker Heisman Trophy winners of all time. Only matched by last year's winner, Devonta Smith, who kind of just won in a pandemic season where Alabama dominated all of college football, and we had to give the Heisman Trophy to someone on the Alabama offense. And so Bryce Young becomes the second straight Alabama player to win the Heisman. It was pretty much a red carpet coordination for him at the Heisman Trophy ceremony. We all knew he was going to win the award going back to last week. He was the front runner going into the SEC championship and then put up the college football performance of the season with 420 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Georgia defense that had only allowed 84 points the entire season. Bryce Young scored on 5 consecutive possessions in that game, and by that point, it was just a red carpet coordination for him. Bryce Young has an interesting story because Bryce Young went from committing to USC, he's from the Los Angeles area, committing to USC to play football, and then with the uncertainty around Clay Helton, ends up decommitting and committing to Alabama. And this is an interesting point because it reflects the growing trend of college football where the star quarterbacks who can make star turns in the sport. You know, each of the Heisman Trophy winners of the last 13 years have all been first round picks in the NFL draft. I think Troy Smith was the last non-first round pick other than Derrick Henry, who should have been in the first round, but was a second rounder because running back position is a weird one. But Derrick Henry should have, could have, would have been a first round pick. Last 15 years, Heisman Trophy winners are usually the best players in the country. And so Bryce Young, who is a 5-star recruit through and through, wins the Heisman Trophy in his first year as a starter. He chooses to go to the factory of Alabama instead of playing at the local school, or in the case of some of the last Heisman Trophy winners like Baker Mayfield, staying in the Midwest and going to Texas Tech and then Oklahoma, and then Kyler Murray staying in Texas and moving to Oklahoma. You see this interesting trend of a West Coast quarterback going to Alabama. This is the second one in a row, by the way, because Tua Tagovailoa from Hawaii ends up going to Alabama. Should have won the Heisman Trophy the year that Kyler Murray won the Heisman. So this is a growing trend over the last 5 years, especially at the factories of Alabama and Clemson. And last year we can talk about Justin Fields in Ohio State. But the point here is it's interesting to see this change in the college football landscape where Bryce Young can go over to Alabama, dominate for an entire season. He'll be the number 1 pick likely in his draft class whenever it is that he can make it to the NFL. I believe next year might be Bryce Young's year. I can't remember if he's a sophomore or a freshman this year. I'm pretty sure he's a sophomore, but can't remember exactly what it is. But what's interesting about that is that you see a national recruiting panel of the best recruits. Bryce Young is not a case like Baker Mayfield, where Baker Mayfield walks on, or Mark Ingram, where it's a surprise that he ends up winning the Heisman in 2011, or Johnny Manziel being this wonder kid out of nowhere from Texas A&M. Bryce Young was a 5-star recruit, the best 2 or 3 prospects in the entire country, gets to Alabama and just dominates with a team that throughout the season, even though they had some hiccups here and there, obviously the Auburn game only winning by 7 against LSU, they were still playing on a team filled with players who are just bigger, stronger, faster than everyone else that they're playing, including the best defense in college football over the last 5 years in the University of Georgia, who again, they scored on 5 consecutive possessions against 4 touchdowns, 1 field goal, and outscored Georgia for a stretch 38-7 in the SEC championship. And it secured the wonder kid Bryce Young a Heisman Trophy in a year that he will be back at Alabama to defend the title for the first time since Lamar Jackson. The Heisman Trophy winner will return the following year to defend his Heisman Trophy. Thank you for stopping into this episode of the Slumpbuster YouTube. You can check us out also on the Slumpbuster podcast feed. The link to that is in the description of this episode. Make sure to subscribe. We're almost at 2,000 followers, or 2,000 subscribers in this case. So make sure to subscribe there.